Nadia Cortez again from Coldwell Banker, and here with Samir, covering interesting topics every Wednesday with regards to our finance. Samir, I have a question that is, explained to me so many times, and I'm sorry, I cannot get it.
Okay, no worries.
What is EIBOR, and why is mentioned always EIBOR? Yeah, EIBOR, and why is always mentioned in when you go for mortgage, EIBOR and variable?
Yes.
Can you please?
Let me explain. So EIBOR stands, that's a short form, it stands for Emirates Interbank Offer Rate, right? So there are these top banks which lend money to each other. So there is a lending and a borrowing rate, and then they take an average of that, right? So EIBOR is basically like the central bank rate. Like in US we have the Fed rates, in UK they have their base rate, England base rate, right? So this is the central bank rate here. So the central bank rate here is called EIBOR, right?
Okay.
So how these products work is, the mortgage product is a combination of a fixed margin, that's the bank's profit, and then there is the EIBOR. EIBOR is basically their cost of funds. So if a bank has borrowed money from somewhere, between banks, lending and all, so they have their basic cost of funds plus their profit. That's how the interest rate is calculated.
So there is no mortgage without EIBOR, let's say?
No, there isn't a mortgage without EIBOR. I would say there are a few banks which don't use EIBOR, but have a same exact concept, but they call it their own internal base rate.
Okay.
Right? So there is a variable component always.
But the EIBOR, you explained to me earlier, it fluctuates per day, or how is it?
So yes, look, EIBOR is very transparent. If you just go to Google and type EIBOR today, you can see what EIBOR is today.
Okay.
Right? So EIBOR, or Emirates Interbank Offer Rate. Now banks lend money to each other on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, monthly, quarterly, half-yearly and yearly basis. Right? And most of the bank mortgage products are designed in a way where the rate will be a combination of a profit, right, and the variable component, which is the EIBOR. Most of the banks work with a 3-month EIBOR. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's how they work, right?
Yeah. So when you're choosing a mortgage, is this EIBOR a very important? I mean, I understand it's very important, but why is very important to look at it?
Sure. Look, as I said, EIBOR is very transparent, right? You can Google type it and you can search what EIBOR is today. If your bank has given you a product which works with a 3-month EIBOR, then your rate will change every 3 months. It's 1st of January, 1st of April, and so on, right? So it's good to keep a track of how the EIBOR is performing, because you know what my interest rate is going to be for the next quarter, or for the next year, so on, right? So EIBOR is good to understand and good to track and see what the EIBOR, how it's performing. However, EIBOR is something which is common with all the banks. They all have EIBOR linked product. So now, for example, I have a mortgage with a bank with a 3-month EIBOR. You have a mortgage with a different bank, again linked with a 3-month EIBOR. So the EIBOR, or the central bank rate, is common for all the banks, for all the clients.
Okay.
So your and my EIBOR component is going to be common.
It will be the same, yeah.
But when deciding on a mortgage product, we tell the client and we explain to them that, look, your interest rate is a combination of the margin, bank margin, and the EIBOR. We are working with the 3-month EIBOR. Currently, the 3-month EIBOR is X percentage, and the bank's margin is X percentage. So you combine the two, and that's the interest rate you will pay.
Okay.
Now, if I am with a bank which is charging me 2% plus EIBOR, right, and you have a bank which is charging you 1.49 plus EIBOR, then you are at a better bank. Yeah, because EIBOR is common for everyone, right?
Okay.
But the margin is where the difference lies. If you are at a better margin, then you are at a better product. Compared to others, you'll be paying less interest.
Of course.
So educating our client on how the interest rate works, what is a fixed rate, what is a variable rate, how the variable rate is calculated, and what are the key components when deciding on a mortgage, that's where we specialize in. It's a very, very valid question. It's a very common question, what is EIBOR?
Okay, I feel a little less silly. So if you need any assistance, this is why the mortgage advisor comes in playing a very important role, because it's not only about explaining you, as you very well do, Samir, what is this, how it works, but also even when you have chosen a product, if I'm not understanding wrong, you as an advisor, you can renegotiate for the client the interest, is it?
Absolutely. So when you say renegotiate, I think you're talking in terms of if I already have a mortgage.
Yeah, let's say I hire you, so we agreed, I took the mortgage through you, and then after a year I come back and I ask you, Samir, is there any better product?
Yes, absolutely. So we periodically do a rate review for our clients. We do it free of cost. Okay. So there is nothing that we charge. We will see what your current product is, and compared to that, what better options are available. We'll do a full analysis of how much savings you make if in case you were to renegotiate the rate or move from one bank to the other if the other bank has a much better product, right? So periodically, yes, we will review, and if necessary, we will help in renegotiating the rate with your existing bank, or if we feel that your existing bank may not be offering the best interest rate, we'll give you better options. Maybe it's better to move from one bank to the other. There's a cost involved, but that cost is easily recovered in a year's time, and then there is savings thereafter.
Amazing. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Samir, for another episode of these advices that we're giving to clients. If you have any questions, please let us know. You can as well contact Samir in his number and email address that we're adding here in the video. Myself as well will be happy to assist you, guiding you through the process, leading you to your dream home.